That's why you buy a V8.
Would you like to run a vehicle health report? Please select yes, or remind me later, on the screen. Please wait while your report is being sent. Vehicle health report submitted successfully. Call ended.
Well, here it is, guys. My vehicle's about to roll over to the 50,000 mile mark, and I thought I'd bring you along so we can all experience it together. I don't know what it is about that thing, but I just thought I'd share it. I don't know if I'm going to keep this vehicle to the 100,000 mile mark, but for sure and for certain it's obviously going to make 50,000. It's been a really good vehicle. I bought this thing when it had 4.5 miles on the odometer. That was just about 3 years ago. I bought it middle to the end of August in 2015. Yeah, it's got a V8 engine in it. No turbochargers for me. I know their EcoBoost engines are really cool and high tech and all that, but a full-size pickup truck needs a full-size engine. And this 5-liter Coyote is pretty good. It's got nearly 400 horsepower. Although if it had nearly 500 horsepower, it'd be that much better. But, yeah. I'm going to do a little review here for 50,000 miles. All the likes and dislikes, things I think they could improve upon. But I wanted to capture this moment and share it. It's a beautiful morning. I'm going to try to patch in my forward-looking camera to this video so you can see where I'm driving. As you heard, the vehicle decided it was time to run a vehicle health report while I'm driving along, which is an interesting thing. That feature on this particular F-150, it'll run its diagnostic report, and then it'll upload it to Ford, and then they'll email me a copy. Looky here, 49,999.4, almost there. Oh, I'm on the way to the office this morning. Now I drive this truck. No, my wife sometimes drives it, but I'm the principal driver, and it's my daily driver. It's been a really, really good vehicle. So here we go. 49,999.9. 50,000. How about that? So, let's do a review on this thing. As you've seen, we just rolled over at 50,000 miles, and let me tell you a little bit about the truck. It's a 2015 Lariat. I purchased it back in August that year. It had 4.5 miles on the odometer, so they barely even ran it around the block once they received it and did their dealer prep. It's a 4x4 with a tow package. It's got the 5-liter Coyote engine in it, which makes about what, I think 385, 390 horsepower, which is pretty nice. It's definitely got some guts, although 500 horsepower would be better. Just my thoughts. Anyway, it's the full Lariat package. We have all the goodies on it. I don't think there's any options missing from this thing. It's got the Super Crew Cab, or the big crew cab on it, which gives you huge amounts of leg room in the back. Easy traveling vehicle. Matter of fact, we've taken it on vacation a couple times, and kids in the back, no problem. More than any car would have in most minivans. Okay. It's got the 20-inch wheels. It's got the short box. It's a really, really very nice vehicle. That's basically that's what the vehicle is. We got the electric power steering on it. That's a really nice feature in this thing. It's got a good feel. It's quick, responsive, easy, and I'm sure it can be tuned. And I spent a lot of time tuning it. I like it. The interior's got the full leather treatment. It's got the 8-way power-adjusted seats with the lumbar support. The front seats are heated and cooled, and the back seats are just heated. It's got the double sunroof, which is really very nice. It's in lots of light when you want it. It's nice at night. In the daytime, it sure does heat up the cab, though. Now this unit here also has the keyless entry, keyless ignition. It's got the really expensive key fob that does everything, remote start, all that good stuff. It's real convenient. You just throw the thing in your pocket. You don't worry about where your keys are for your vehicle. Of course, it's got the My Ford Touch nav system in there with hands-free, Bluetooth, all that kind of stuff. It's okay. We'll get back to that later. Price on this thing when I bought it was a little over $52,000. When you add in the extended warranty I purchased for it, it brought it right up to $55,000. It's a bit pricey, but it's a very nice vehicle. Now, I could go into all the things I like about it, but that would take too long. This is supposed to be a short review video. So I'm just going to cover a few things that I don't like. The sync system. This My Ford Touch sync system. It's sluggish. And the voice input is erratic. It at one time will take the command, and other times it'll just completely ignore you. And then the voice prompting, it takes forever to go through its litany of options to make a choice that it doesn't understand. So it's kind of worthless. I don't even use it anymore. Matter of fact, if I want to make a phone call, instead of pushing the button and tell it I want to call, say, my wife on the phone, I just hit the Google button on my phone, and it processes the voice call perfectly. No issues. The map system, the nav system is okay. It certainly is not Google Maps, which I understand can be constantly updated. But one pet peeve I have with this system is it should be kept up to date as long as the vehicle is under warranty, whether you buy the extended warranty or not. So say you have the extended warranty, which is good for 75,000 miles. That's the bumper-to-bumper warranty. The maps on the system should be kept up to date automatically, as well as the software in the system. I mean, seriously. It's a nice system, but it's not great. Okay? Just my pet peeve. One other item I don't like about this truck is it's really annoying, and it's potentially dangerous. Is the automatic high beam dimmer circuit. It uses the forward-looking camera to determine whether there's a car coming or if there's brake lights within a given range. And it works good in that capacity. But here's the dangerous part. Say you're coming into a tight curve. Because I live in the country, we have tight, curvy roads sometimes. There's invariably going to be a sign that points you to the left or right to tell you what the curve's going to do. And what happens if you're on high beams, which is what you want coming into a curve, especially on a very dark night, the light will reflect off the sign. The truck computer will interpret that as either an oncoming vehicle or we're too close to another vehicle. And just as you're entering that curve, it'll go to dims. That can be a little unsettling. Fortunately, you can program the thing to not function, or you can deprogram it. Okay? So I've turned that function off. It's worthless at best. Worst case, it is potentially dangerous. Okay, now since this is my 50,000 mile review, let me tell you the problems I've had with the vehicle. First thing that happened within about 3 months of ownership, the steering column, it's got the automatic retracting mirror steering column, brake pedal, seats, which goes with that fancy key fob. And what will happen when the steering column would retract, it would shudder and vibrate as it tried to retract. And it would retract, but it made a horrible racket, and you could physically see the thing bouncing around as it tried to pull it in. I took it into the dealer. They looked at it for a few hours and figured out that just get a shot of grease will solve the problem. They did that. It did solve the problem for about 3 more months. Then the problem returned with a vengeance. So I took it back to the Ford dealer, and they spent about a day and a half with the thing. But it was nice. They gave me a loaner. And I don't know what they did. They didn't actually tell me. But there's a different mark on my column from the original one. I think they replaced the steering column. They just didn't tell me what they did to it. But it hasn't done that since it's worked perfectly. And this is 3 years now. Actually, it'll be 3 years in August. So it's like 1 month from now. Second problem I have that I haven't addressed with them, but it is under warranty, is the passenger side mirror. When you try to adjust it on a cold day, it will not tilt down. It'll go up, left, right, but it will not move down. It sticks. It'll try to move and then just stop. So I've got to take that in. I can't tell you why it does it, but there's obviously a problem, and it is under warranty, so I'll tend to it when I get a chance. And there's also a rattle in the door or under the dash on the driver's side. I can't quite isolate it, so I'm going to take it in and talk to them about that and see if they can locate it, because it's intermittent, but it is regularly annoying. Okay, there's one other thing that they considered a warranty, but I didn't consider a warranty since I caused it. But I'm happy to report that they considered a warranty and dealt with it. It could have been quite expensive. I was coming through the mountains last year, and I had a long descent. And just as I got down to the bottom of the mountains, I got hit with a huge deluge. Maybe 3 miles of just heavy downpour rain. It was unusually heavy, something you might see in Florida. Anyway, about a few miles past the rainstorm, I pulled in to get some gas, and my brakes were pulsing heavily. And they continued to pulse until I got back home a couple weeks later. So I took it to the dealer and told them what's going on, and they checked them, and sure enough, every rotor on the truck was warped. Not terribly so, but enough to make it an unpleasant experience to stop. You could feel yourself pulsing in the seat as the vehicle is trying to slow down. Anyway, they turned the rotors, brakes were still good, and they considered a warranty claim. I'm happy about that. Anyway, that's the sum total of all the problems I've had with this truck. Oh, one other thing, the sunroof up here tends to rattle a little bit, squeak. I've tried using conditioner on the seals so it will stop the squeak, and that helps for a couple weeks. But in the heat of summer, it has to be done regularly, otherwise you get a squeak. Not all the time, but just if you're getting a little bit of a rough road, you'll hear it. Okay, let's talk about some niddly stuff. These are just silly, stupid first world problems. All right. Now I have the smart key system on this thing, so when I get in or my wife's driving the truck, it'll automatically adjust the seats, the gas and brake pedal, the steering wheel, and the mirrors, and the temperature preference to the owner of that key, which I love. It's really nice because my wife is always leaving the seat about 2 inches from the steering wheel, and I have to move it back in order to get in. So it's really nice. When you get out of the vehicle, the seat automatically moves back. When you get in, it automatically positions itself for the appropriate driver. Lovely system. Here's the first world issue. Everything in this vehicle adjusts itself to the driver, except for the internal mirror. If my wife has driven my truck, then invariably the mirror is pointing down at my kneecaps, which is just an annoyance, but for the price of this truck, you couldn't put a mirror in it that would also adjust? Seriously? I think that would be a lovely change. Okay, the sunroof. This is that large sunroof, and you have to push the button once, it'll move back halfway and stop. Then you have to wait for it to stop, and then push it again to move it back all the way. Conversely, if you want to close it, you push it once, it comes halfway closed, and then you got to wait for it to stop and then push it again. So you're messing with this button. It would be nice, and it would just be a programmer thing. If you push the button once, it moves back only halfway. What I'd like to see is if you pushed it twice rapidly, it would automatically move all the way open or all the way closed, depending on what you wanted to do. That'd be just a nice little addition, and it would be a code change. It wouldn't be anything major. Okay, one other thing is, while it does have USB ports, it would be nice if you had USB ports in the back and they had more amperage. They're only rated for 1 amp in the front. You have 2 of them, but it'd be nice if you had 2 in the front and 2 in the back and they were both rated for 2 amps. That'd be a nice little change. Now, if you're using the remote start on a cold day or a hot day, it would be nice on a hot day if the seats would automatically heat up and the steering wheel. That'd be a nice little change. And again, that's not a technical problem. That is simply software changing. So that would be a great change. Of course, on the hot weather, it would automatically turn on the air conditioning, which it does, but it would also turn on the seat coolers. That would be a nice thing. Okay, I love the 5-liter engine. It's got plenty of torque, plenty of power. And gas mileage, well, you've seen it on the little odometer as we rolled over 50,000. I'm getting a little over, well, almost 6 miles per gallon. It's because I drive a little bit in the city and country roads. I don't get on the highway very often. When I took a trip last year on the highway, I was getting close to 17. I mean, seriously, it's a 5-liter engine. I was driving 80-ish on the highway. I can't complain about that. It's a pickup truck. It's not a little rice burner that gets 52 miles per gallon. This is a serious vehicle that does work. No complaints there. It's just the cost of emission. Anyway, that's kind of my observations about the vehicle. I hope you enjoyed that. We're going to just do a quick walk around and show you the truck. This is a 3-year-old. I've owned it since it was new. It's got a couple battle scars on it, but nothing of any consequence. Look right here. Bumped that with a 2x4. And to show you, this is actually a work truck. I do use it, and it's got the original factory bed liner. And the tow motor driver at Lowe's caught the edge of that right there and bent it up a little bit. Both sides, you can see. Nothing of consequence. Bed liner's held up well. It's had landscaping blocks, trash, mulch, dirt, pretty much everything you can imagine in here. And yeah, it's a little dirty in the bed, but it's a pickup truck. That's what it's all about. It's supposed to work for a living. If it doesn't, why do you have it? But it's a pretty sweet ride. You can see it's got the 20-inch wheels on it. Pretty nice ride. Finest pickup truck I bought. And I bought a few over the years. And here's one of the best parts. See that? That's a real engine. It's a little dirty, a little dusty, but that's what you get 50,000 miles. This engine has had 3 oil changes in that period of time. I use a full synthetic. But no fancy plastic under the hood, just functionality. Now this doesn't have that special acoustic tube that they put on the other engines to pipe in sound from the intake into the cabin. That sweet note you heard is functional engine. Coming through the cowl, coming from the exhaust. That alone was worth buying. Anyway, I thought you'd like to see under the hood. So this truck is not babied. It is worked. It's not abused, but it's enjoyed. So thanks for watching, guys. Now this is why you buy a V8 engine that doesn't have piped in sound effects. This is what it sounds like. So enjoy. Still? We're good? No, don't put your fingers in front of it, honey. Alright, hit stop. Alright, hit stop.